Alright, last time I start the video and try to explain everything what might be suitable for people who decide come to work in India as a stuntman. But I was interrupted. Seriously, go to set and come back and just all the processes are quite crazy here because you don't know the certain plans. As I said before, only director knows the storyboard and all the precise schedule, and it's not really shared to other people, so you not really know what's going on and what will be next. For example, you come on a set and they said you need to drive on a motorbike some many mountains, and after said, okay, you'll be jumping from a bungee or you'll be climbing, or next day they said, okay, we need to dive, and it's everything changing. It's like super stressful, and you need to be ready, like literally do anything. And I think the most pain is it's like always arguing about the condition and locations and at what it's gonna be, and about the money as well. So it's like on the market you always fight for it. So it's something really inconvenient you need to be ready for. And if you or your team will be invited from abroad, just be sure they'll buy tickets and make a book hotels for you and everything, because you might came and everything can be changed, and can be changed like 100 times. For example, they have a holiday, they decide to make a break, they will not work this week, or other main actors was like a super celebrity, they change mind and they more like make shooting next month or next week and so on, and they might cancel your shoot and not pay for your hotel, or maybe not give you money for the flight tickets if you come here and so on. Or best way, just take some deposit like 20% or 35, 50, whatever you can. Just take a deposit to be sure you will go on the set, because they might change their mind maybe 100 times and say, okay, we don't need horse riders anymore and we need not 40 people, we need just 10 people and so on. It's happened so many times, and I know a few stuntmen who just lose a lot of money on it. Because they can pay, because they came on a place, they shoot couple days, go back, or just come by their own money, buy tickets and so on. They come to a shoot, don't pay anything back, and they go back. So just a big waste of time and so on. So here you need to be like super careful, and it's not something what can happen like once. It's like really often. So I told you like many complaints, but still in India only a couple stunt-owned things, so it's really not enough for all of the movie production they do. They shoot like crazy, they shoot really lot, so here a lot of work for the stunts. So they invite stunts from like all of the countries, from China, from Russia, from States, from everywhere. So first of all, they need a different specialists, and in other cases they need like a different faces, because cannot be like the same faces in a movies again and again and again. Movie production here in any states, then for states I guess there's different languages, so it's different movie companies with different names and different celebrities there who speak on a different language, like Amil Punjab or Telugu and so on and so on, and the celebrities even don't know each other. So in one state you like super famous, and another one no one knows. And a few celebrities who like famous like everywhere. And here still exists the cult of Shwaraja, so Shwaraja is correct me. But when people, for example, praying for the teams, even live teams, and especially when it's dead, so it's like some big person, so they're praying for them, and they bring the offers and so on, and arguing for something like for better life and so on. And same for famous people, for some celebrities, even who still alive, they're still praying, and then they have some picture, bringing some offerings and so on. It's like crazy. So some actors say, joking here, just would be, do you wish like be so popular, some people praying on me? And certainly not. Because all of the praying, unfortunately, is not about being more wise or I don't know, to be more spiritual, mostly like, okay, I want a car, I want a soul vibe, I want a new car, I want a new house, and so on and so on. People just ask some like material stuff. So imagine if they train them, just there will be a lot of spam. to yourself. Okay, but it's not what I'm talking about. So it's a lot of completely different production, but for you, if you're a foreigner and you work in Stan, that will be 5 main cities you might go for the movie shoot. I think it's biggest one. It's Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Kolkata. So it's mostly where there are a lot of historical films and action movies where you need stunts and like they make the films with the international standards. So it's go what they broadcast like around the world, like really big movies. And some of the movies is like really cool, especially some historical movies. What was made maybe like in the last 10 years, they look really great. Not like super Indian style where everything, how to say, it's super exaggerated and not realistic. Some action movies when I watch it remind me like a pure comedy, but it's just serious action. And people watch it and it's just a style of how movie people can dance and sing. So it's like a big, long music video. So some movies are like, let's say, international standards, and it's really good story, really good acting and action and so on. And you might be participate there. And everywhere is a different style of shooting. It depends from director, depends from the budget. So just keep in mind. And yeah, most important is about safety. If you work with your own team, it's just great. So everyone look after each other for the safety. But if you came on your own and freelance, and it is low budget, so it might be no ambulance, no one just will check your safety. No one's scared. Yeah. For example. Most common stuff that everyone should be mind about, big lamps, it's falling, or maybe big windstorm and just something falling from a crane and so on. And usually it's like big walls they make for making shadow or maybe make for soft line and so on. If something fixed not well, it's falling, and it's happened like really long time. Other things. It's camera crane or it's moving because they look in the picture, and if someone just didn't see it can hit a head or even hit a person. And when they make shots of like in a high speed on a cars, so sometimes they just can hit someone. It's like really crazy, same like in China. But in China, for example, if something not well or doesn't fix so they double check, triple check and make it fine. At least in India, I saw a few times like, no one give me just to finish the video, just always interrupt by someone. So just really recently, it was a lines connected to the crane upstairs and someone didn't fix it well and a hook just fell from top on the bottom and break some plank. So if it's hit someone's head, it will kill instantly. And you know what? Man came, pick up a hook, go out and say, okay, we pull and shoot. So it means might be just fix something there or maybe something else upstairs. No one checked, just people came, look at it, it's fine. That's it. So it's mean like safety on a super low level. So you need to be like triple careful about anything. Especially if it works with animals like elephant or buffalo or even horses, like anything. Once I was on an elephant and elephant was really scared of drone and it just make like strange noise and try to kick me out and everything just moves a lot and they start to hit the elephant and say, oh my god, why I signed up for it? They just said I need to like ride and jump through the elephant and so on, and it was really disaster. You know, they hit the elephant and you involved in that shit, and you probably last person who sit on him, and probably if he get mad. I saw some videos on YouTube when like elephants escape from a circus and just start to crush everything because they just give up of that torturing and suffering in the zoo. And each time drone come closer and the elephant just I get mad and like, oh, it was so like nightmare shoot. And then we're just walking. It was probably the best part when just walking through the elephant. Seems like everything fine, and it was like a big gap, maybe, I don't know, 10 meters, maybe more, like really big gap. And elephant just come to the edge and go down. And it's like, oh, it's so cool. Animals don't have such things like a suicide, but there was something tasty there and so on. And about the bulls, we came to the bulls and we're supposed to be just to ride the bulls. Some funny things like playing polo, but on the bulls, and these bulls wasn't training. And they saw like Europeans the first time, they start to panicking, and man just holded his nostrils with the metal the circle, and still bull just try to escape and so on. And I saw if the things will break, he will kick out all of the shooting team up there. It was crazy. So we didn't done a shoot. They realized after 1 hour of torturing, so it should be like special training animals and so on, and horses. Once we came in the shoot and said, okay, it will be bombs, shooting, like lot of loud stuff, and people supposed to be around riding horses, and after who the professionals, they just fell with the horses. Yeah, you saw a lot of things when horses falling on the movies, and horses not falling actually. They close them eyes and they tie the ropes. So basically they just make them fall, and it's really unpleasant for the horses. Thing is, when I asked them, do the horses okay with the sound? Because, for example, me and my mom house, they have a horse farm, so horse ranch, so I know like how horses behave and so on. It's the basic stuff. And they said, no, it's fine. No, they just bring it new horses. And I said, is it horses for stunts? So they train and so on. They said, no, we just rent it here, and they have a low budget. They try to save money on anything. And imagine, horse would never heard like bombs explode and everything. It was like so harsh panic, and they start to hit each other, and horses just run away to different places. They look for horses for a long time, and it was happened like a few times. And they said that like a team who came to ride the horses was not professional, and we tried to explain them, so it should be training horses, and horses should be locked somewhere, and they should be okay with all of that noisy sounds, so you make it 1 or 2 or 3 days and after to make a shoot for making the way you want it. But they try to save money, make a total mess, and we just left, and I don't know how shooting finished. And it's many things like that. It's just some of the examples that you need to be ready for anything. It's a good stuff if you take some deposit before. As I said before, if you cannot finish certain set, for example, just a fell from a bicycle, but it's no pads, no nothing, you need to fall on the road. And if you fell 10 times, it will be hurts everything. And if you cannot complete the scene, they will not pay you. So it's another stuff. And check the insurance, because some companies, they not pay insurance, it's no medical stuff, no one. So if something happened, they even might not pay you for the hospital. So check the insurance. It's really, medical insurance is really important. Or at least you have some traveling medical insurance. But if you go to the shoot, they're supposed to provide you working visa or some contract or something, or otherwise you might lose a lot of money. So for example, my another shoot, but it's not in India, I try to check like everything is safe or not. So we go on a sea, it needs to jump from a 2 meters high, and it should be dolphin style. So it's maybe your arms straight and you go to the water, and it's maybe was about 3 meters deep, maybe less. So it's like pretty safe, everything fine, just small, high from the rocks. And we had a lunch, they make all of the long preparation and whatever. And I came to the rock, we make a simple shoot, like everything just fine. And hey, look, it's something looks different. But okay, I jumped and I hit my head. So I broke a head, get to the hospital. So until all of the long preparation with several hours, it was tied out. So height was instead of 2 meters, 3 meters, and depth of water was less than 2 meters. So when I jumped, I just hit the rocks up there. So it was simple like that. So always need to check everything just 3, 4, 5 times. So it was like so super mistake. So I just checked, yeah, everything fine and tied out. Yeah, so if you do something like for quite a long time, it still can be like a lot of silly mistakes. For example, costume is not well, different parts, your lines and strokes not fixed, and direction of line strokes you need to check all the time. My mate, he should fly away and fell on the pads, but instead of that, direction was different, and if he fly away, he hit tree and hit really hardly. Hopefully he's fine, but still, it was so simple mistake because direction was slightly not in a way he's supposed to go. So again, if you work not in a team, if you freelance, just take someone, so at least look each other for triple check, everything should be fine. So if you jump in from somewhere and like it's in the right speed, in the right distance, in the right high, and so on and so on. If something going not well, you can stop the shoot because it's your safety, it's your health, and it's your life. And people who do it, they not really care about it, so you need to keep it in mind. They just hire you for a few days, and after they send you back and forgot forever. So if something happened to you, really no one's care, and it's like most unfortunate things here. What else? I think most important stuff what I keep in my mind, what is really important, it's like conditioning, your safety, and so I think most important thing what I keep in my mind, it's like your safety and the condition what you're supposed to work. I mentioned it already. And if something else it will be, but it's less important. So maybe I make another video on not make it super long. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.